everybody, I'm here to do the opposites book tag. I don't think I was tagged to do this by anyone, but I saw Katrina from Little Book Owl do this. I thought it looked like so much fun, so I will link her video below as well as the creator's video in the description. But there are 10 different questions and they're all just about the opposite books on your bookshelf. So question number 1 is the first book in your collection and then the book that you bought most recently. I have Little House and the Big Woods by Laura Ingalls Wilder. I got this in middle school. Honestly, I don't know if I got a book before this. I have the worst memory of all time, and I was looking at my bookshelf and I don't remember another book that I got before this. But yeah, so I got all these books. It was like with this little Scholastic thing with my school, and they sent me like the book and then some little craft thing with it. But looking at this, I'm really proud of myself that I've kept this in such good condition since middle school, because this is like perfect still. And then the most recent book that I bought was To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han, and I bought this from Barnes & Noble because it is signed, so I had to get it obviously, and I read this last year. It was one of my favorites of the year, and so I had to get it. Question number 2 is a cheap book and an expensive book. For my cheap book, I have Would I Lie to You, a Gossip Girl novel. I got this from the flea market for like 10 cents. This next book, I'm not proud to show you. I mean, I'm proud because it's beautiful, but The Count of Monte Cristo, I got from the book depository for $32. Oh. In my defense, this was a long time ago when I first started booktube, and I feel like a lot of booktubers go through this where you just watch everyone's videos and you just want to buy all of the books and you add so many books to your TBR list. And then I went to the book depository and I bought this because I saw someone hauled it and I just had to have it. I thought it was so beautiful. And I haven't even read it. I've not even read this book. I love the movie. I didn't even know this was a book until like a year and a half ago. And so, but I mean, I don't regret it because it's beautiful and one day I hope to read it, but it's just like $32. Question number 3 is a male protagonist and a female one. So for the male protagonist, I have The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Mr. Bilbo Baggins is our protagonist. And actually this was a really good pick because pretty much every single person in this book is male, despite what you may see from the movies. Then for my female protagonist, I have Uglies by Scott Westerfeld, and our protagonist is Talia Youngblood, who is female. Question number 4 is a book you read really quickly, and then a book that took forever to read. So for quickly, I have Anna and the French Kiss by Stephanie Perkins. I read this in one sitting. I started it, and I just didn't stop. I think I took like one break to get a snack and like a bathroom break, and that was pretty much it. I just kept reading. I didn't stop until I finished, and it was perfect. I loved it. Next, I have A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin, which took forever to read. I read this with some other booktubers, and I know it took us at least a month. I think a month was what we had set, but I think I ended up getting behind if I remember correctly, and I'm pretty sure it took me a little over a month to read this. And I know it's kind of big, but still, it took me a while. Question number 5 is a pretty cover and an ugly cover. So I have chosen Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, and I just think this is so beautiful, and I love this cover and the book. Then I have Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead, and Rochelle Mead just gets the worst covers. I mean, this book is so good, but that cover is, oh, it's so terrible. Question number 6 is a national book and an international book, and I took this to mean that it's a book that takes place where you live and then a book that takes place in a different country. And I watched some other people's videos and they seem to do that too. So for America, I chose Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, and she, our main character, is going to college, going to a university in America. And for my international book, I chose The Invention of Hugo Cabret by Brian Selznick, and this takes place in the 1930s in Paris. Question number 7 is a very thin book and then a very thick book. So for my thinnest book, I chose The Perks of Being a Wallflower by Stephen Chbosky. This has 213 pages. It's just a very thin, little bitty book. For my very thick book, I chose Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix by J.K. Rowling. And this massive book has 870 pages. Whoa. Question number 8 is a fiction and then a non-fiction book. So for fiction, I have Cinder by Marissa Meyer, and this is completely fiction and made up, and it is a fairy tale retelling with some sci-fi elements, and it's really awesome. Then for my non-fiction, I own I think this is the only non-fiction book I own. Maybe I think I own like 2 other ones. But I have Yes Please by Amy Poehler, and yes, I'm still reading this obviously, but I'm just reading a little at a time, and I love Amy Poehler, I love her movies, and I love her show Parks and Rec, and she's just fantastic, and I've already I've just gotten so much from this book so far, and I feel like she has such good advice for especially like younger people, and I love her, and this is really good. So this is I haven't read much nonfiction at all, so starting with this was actually really good because it's making me want to read a lot more. Question number 9 is a romantic book and an action book. For romantic, I bet you can't tell by the cover, I chose Safe Haven by Nicholas Sparks. I own almost all of his books and I love them. This is a disgusting cover. I don't like it. I like the original one, but I got this for free, so I couldn't, complain too much. But anyways, this is a fantastic book. This is one of my favorites by him. The movie was also fantastic, so if you have been wanting to read a book by him, I definitely recommend this because there's so much more than just the romance story, although that's definitely like the main idea. For action, I chose The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis. There's so many epic battles, like good versus evil and sword fights, and I love it. I love this series, and I had to choose this for action. It's just such a good series. I love these books. The last question, question number 10, is a book that made you happy and a book that made you sad. For happy, I chose Lola and the Boy Next Door by Stephanie Perkins, and this book made me so happy. It's about Lola and the boy next door. There's romance and there's these great friendships, and Lola is such an interesting, fun character who dresses up in these costumes, and I love her. I just pictured her as Katy Perry or someone because she was always wearing these different wigs, and this book made me really happy. Actually, so far, pretty much all of Stephanie Perkins' books have just made me really happy. And then the book that made me sad was The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I mean, it's about 2 teenagers with cancer, so obviously it's going to be sad. Even if one is in remission, you know it's going to be sad. I definitely cried, and it's more than, just being sad. There's obviously happy moments and things like that, but definitely a sad book. And that was it. Those were the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I thought it was fun to do and to kind of search my bookshelves, and I just love tags like this. So if you guys want to do this too, I tag you. You can tell people I tagged you and do it. I want to see your video. You can tweet me or something, or share it below or something like that. But I'm gonna go. If you guys have any other tag ideas like this that you think would be fun, let me know your favorite tag that you've ever seen a booktuber do, and I will do it. And if I've already done it, maybe I'll just do an updated one or something. I'm gonna go. I will see you guys. Goodbye.